Ms. Drew,
Yes,
did she send anything back?
she is not.
Okay.
All right, good morning. We are ready to get started. Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies, y'all. I need medication this morning. All right.
Welcome all. 36th District Court, State of Michigan is now in session with the Honorable Judge Shannon A. Holmes presiding. During this Zoom court proceeding, there will be no gum chewing, eating, drinking, smoking, or talking. Also, you're required to be dressed appropriately for court. No do-rags, hats, pajamas, low-cut tops, spaghetti string tops, or underclothes should be visible. If you have any additional electronic devices, please silence them or turn them off. Thank you all in advance for your compliance, and good morning, Your Honor.
And good morning, everyone. Good morning to the courtroom staff. And then, Officer, thank you for opening court on this morning. Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, I'm going to have you place your appearance on the record. Mr. Jackson, please take your hat off in my courtroom. My officer just went over what you can and can't do in the courtroom. All right, Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning. For the record, Jesse Reed, Drug Court Defense Attorney, P 23863. Judge, I'd like to make a motion that my appearance be for all of my clients this morning. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you, Mr. Reed. Good morning to you, and your motion is granted.
And good morning, Your Honor. Robert Fikens, P 31894, Drug Treatment Court Defense Counsel. And I too would make a similar motion.
All right, good morning, Mr. Fikens, and your motion is granted as well. I see Miss Cleveland. If you could place your appearance on the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Coach Cleveland, case manager for Specialty Court, 36th District Court.
Thank you, and Mr. Griffin.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brian Griffin, Drug Court Case Manager on behalf of the Probation Department.
All right, good morning, Mr. Griffin, and Mr. Yancey.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kenneth Yancey on behalf of Sobriety Court, Your Honor.
All right, good morning, Mr. Yancey. I also see that Alice J has joined us. Good morning. If you could place your appearance on the record for me.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Alice, and I'm here for the Human Trafficking Court.
All right, wonderful. Good morning. Glad you're here. All right, we are ready to get started. Do I have someone serving today as the court reporter?
Yes, Your Honor. Sharon Burrell, court reporter.
All right, good morning, Ms. Burrell. Thank you for serving on today.
Yes, Judge. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Judge, I have a preliminary matter, if I may. I understand that there's a new contract today of Mr. Russell. I would be the one going into the breakout room with Mr. Russell. If Mr. Russell is in the courtroom, if the court would allow me to interview that person at this time, I would go into a breakout room.
Absolutely. Is Mr. Russell in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor, it's Ms. Russell, and she is, I'm trying to contact her right now, but she's supposed to Zoom in, so as soon as I see her, then I will alert the court.
All right, very good. For those that are in the courtroom, I am muting everyone until it's time for your hearing so that I don't get the background noise. And so if someone could just let me know when Russell joins us so that I can send you all into the breakout room, Mr. Reed.
Thank you, Judge. I volunteered for that, Mr. Fikens, and I have a plan. So thank you, Judge.
All right, very good. I see that Mr. Combs has joined us again on this morning. Mr. Combs' attorney joining us for purposes of his probation or what's happening with this morning, Mr. Combs?
Yes, he said he was joining us.
All right, he's not here yet, so I'm going to keep going. Good morning to you. I'll mute you again.
Good morning.
All right. Okay, I also have next on the list Joshua Jackson. Has anyone had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Jackson?
Oh, Your Honor, Robert Fikens for Mr. Jackson. If we could go into a breakout room so I could discuss this matter with him.
All right, very good. And so, Mr. Jackson, good morning to you. I'm sending you to a breakout room with Attorney Fikens So please accept the invitation to breakout room number 1.
Yes, ma'am. And good morning to you as well.
Thank you. All right, there we go. All right, Mr. Burgess, good morning to you.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you, Judge?
I am well, thank you. Have you had the opportunity for your client to determine what avenue he's going to take with respect to whether he's doing specialty court or regular probation?
Sorry, Your Honor. Yes, Judge. He's going to do regular probation. I've explained to him the pros and cons of both, and I know how the court's position is on that. So he thinks he can manage. He doesn't think he'll violate. So he would like to do the regular probation.
All right, very good. And so, Ms. Drew, did we do an order of probation on yesterday or give them notice that we had someone who would need to be placed on regular probation?
Yes, ma'am. I talked to Ms. Hernandez yesterday. I did put her on notice, and I'll go ahead and get ready to call her right now.
They don't have to come down. I can do if, because he's already had an assessment. Did you all determine on yesterday if he would have another assessment?
I don't believe Mr. Yancey was requiring another assessment, Your Honor. I think that they're just going to decide whether to do the specialty court or the regular probation.
Mr. Yancey?
That's correct, Your Honor. I don't think he needs another assessment at this time.
If there's a problem on probation, we can always do another assessment, but we do have one for purposes of the record. So at this time, then I'm ready for sentencing with respect to your client. I do want you to understand, Mr. Burgess, that I'm going to run his regular probation on the same track with the court. So he's going to see me often. He will have the same requirements pretty much in the treatment court contract. And so I just want to make sure that that's clear. This is not your regular probation.
Okay, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Ms. Drew, if you could read the case number into the record for Mr. Holmes, please.
Okay. Case number 053-85951. The defendant, Alan Holmes, been charged OWI.
All right, thank you. Your appearance, Mr. Burgess.
Good morning, Your Honor. May it please this honorable court, David Burgess on behalf of Alan Combs.
All right, thank you, Mr. Burgess. And Mr. Combs, could you please state your name for the record?
Yes, Alan Combs.
Thank you, and good morning to you again.
Good morning to you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Combs, you realize that you are in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your hearing by way of our virtual courtroom?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. All right, Mr. Burgess, today is the date set and time set for sentencing. Your client has opted to do regular probation. And so is there anything you'd like me to know about your client at this time?
Your Honor, the only thing I would state to the court that since the court's ordered it, he's been testing, he's been negative the whole time. This is an older case. I understand the court would have some concerns in any of these situations. However, I do believe that he's exhibited to the court that he's not currently using any substances at this point. And I do believe because of the age of the case, as well as the fact that he's been testing negative, I don't believe he's presenting with a present issue with drugs and or alcohol. And Your Honor, I do know the court was told yesterday my client does have custody of his 3 children. He is employed full time. And again, the age of this case, I think that he's not presenting currently with a problem that really needs to be, currently addressed. And I ask the court to consider those factors in fashioning a sentence.
All right, thank you. Mr. Combs, is there anything you'd like this court to know about you prior to sentencing?
Pretty much, Your Honor, I'm just trying to get my life together, get my past out the way, and be a better man to my kids.
All right, are you working, Mr. Combs?
Yes, I am.
All right, very good, very good. And how long have you been on that job?
Right now, I just got back to work in probably about 5 days now.
No, I mean overall.
Where I was working before the epidemic, I was collecting unemployment, but now I'm back to working.
Okay, but how long have you been with that entity?
I'm probably about probably about 2 years now.
Oh, okay. Okay, wonderful. So you have steady employment. That's wonderful. All right. And there's nothing else that you want me to know about you?
That's pretty much it, Your Honor. I'm getting my life together, and I just like to apologize to the court and you.
Okay. All right. I'm ready for sentencing. If nothing else, I'm going to start off with fines and costs. I am going to assess our costs in the amount of $225. Plus, he will have to pay any monitoring costs for probation. In addition, I am assessing the fines in the amount of $500. You will also, in addition to fines and costs, be responsible for attending 2 times per week, 12-step meetings for alcohol. 2 times per week. You can check with your probation officer. I don't have a problem with you doing them virtual or by phone, but you must attend those meetings, okay? Make sure that you're
Okay.
keeping a log. You'll have to prove or demonstrate to your probation officer that you're attending the meetings, but for purposes of when you see me, you need to present a log where you have dated each day that you've attended a meeting and write down what you've learned in those meetings or what you took away from the meetings, okay?
Okay.
You also have to undergo random drug screens 2 times per week, and your case manager can get you set up at either JAMS or ATS. And then I think that there was another agency. Where did you go and test, Mr. Combs?
Concentra. I went to Concentra and
Concentra.
Jam.
Did they charge you a lot to test there?
No, I believe it was like $12 every testing or something. I think it was 25 and then $12 every time.
All right, very good. So you'll test. I won't limit your testing site, ATS or JAMS, but what I will say is that you must test, and it has to be random. And so they'll get you set up for random testing with the color, and then you'll have to call in the mornings to see if your color drops, and then you'll need to go in and test, okay?
Okay.
All right, as a term and condition, also a part of your probation will be you cannot have any alcohol, marijuana, illegal drugs, or CBD oil products, whether it's smoking, rubbing them, whatever. You can't test positive for THC, okay?
Okay.
All right, and so do you have any questions about that? Whether it's hookah, I don't care how people are doing it. I'm making sure that I'm telling you, you can't do it. And again, I'm muting everyone because if I'm not doing your case, I don't want to get the feedback from you. So please don't unmute yourself. Thank you. All right, Mr. Combs, I'm sorry. Did you have any questions?
No, I was just telling you I understand, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. I am going to review with you in 30 days. I'm going to bring you back to court, and it will be on, actually, I'm going to bring you back on December 11th. And so right now, your probation is going to be a 12-month probation.
Okay.
And then we'll continue to review and monitor your progress, okay?
Okay.
I am going to strongly encourage you that if you have any underlying issues to, by all means, let your probation officer know that so that we are able to point you in the direction of resources that may be able to help you, okay?
Okay.
All right, very good. Mr. Burgess, any questions for this court?
No, Your Honor. Thank you, Judge.
All right, very good. Mr. Combs, any questions?
No, I'd just like to thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're very welcome. I look forward to working with you. Ms. Drew, if you could prepare that probation order, I need to make sure that it gets to Mr. Burgess and to Mr. So it can get to, and to Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs, don't come back to me in December saying you didn't know what you had to do. You never got any paperwork. Nobody called you, because we don't babysit at 36th District Court. We empower people to make sure that they are able to take care of the things that can keep them on the right track. So, and not put them on the wrong track, which the wrong track would be the Wayne County Jail. Okay? So
Yeah.
I'm making that known to you. You know
Okay.
I'm not having it, right?
Right.
All right, very, very good. Okay, if no questions, we'll get that information to you, and I'll see you on December 11th at 9:00 a.m.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you, Your Honor.
All
Thank you.
right, thank you. Mr. Burgess, thank you for your patience. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Judge. Be safe. Have a good day.
All right, you do the same. You both do.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, I'm going back to Alan Combs. Mr. Combs and Mr. Fikens, are we ready to proceed? I'm not Mr. Combs, I'm sorry, Joshua Jackson.
Yes, thank you, Judge. We are ready to proceed. Before you call the case, though, I did reach out to the prosecutor this morning for an offer. I've not yet received one. I'm not sure. I talked to her last night. She said the office was going to open up again today. I'm not sure if that's true or not. So I just haven't heard back from the prosecutor. And I don't know which way this court wishes to go. He's interested in working it out, but also we understand that if we can't get an offer today, Judge, we'd request an adjournment.
All right, yes. And so did Mr. Jackson post a bond, Ms. Drew? It looks like he has a cash bond that he posted in October of $200. Is that correct, Mr. Jackson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, because if we can't get an offer, have you heard anything?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Drew. Have you heard anything from the prosecutors, Mr. Fikens?
I've not yet, Judge, and I probably texted her, I bet now about 20 minutes ago.
That's not like them, right?
I know. That's why I'm concerned that either maybe they're not opening up like we talked about the night before. I just don't know, Your Honor. I don't want to presume something.
Okay, so Mr. Jackson, what you can do, you can either hold on, stay in the courtroom, let's see if we can get an offer, or we can adjourn this matter and schedule it so that you can come back and the prosecutors will be with us and we'll have an offer, or the defense attorney will have an offer for you to consider.
An adjournment is fine.
Okay, all right, let me call the case. It is case number U-156-369-14 for Joshua Jackson. Mr. Jackson, state your full name for the record.
Joshua Major Adam Jackson.
All right, and Mr. Fikens has already placed his appearance on the record. Mr. Jackson, we don't have a prosecutor this morning through no doing of our own. There's been an issue in light of the pandemic that we're in, and so some adjustments had to be made by the prosecutor's office that impacts our courtroom. And so Mr. Fikens has indicated that he would not have an issue with an adjournment because you'd like to resolve this. And so, Mr. Jackson, I am going to adjourn your matter. I will bring this back. Mr. Fikens, do you think I can bring it back next week and we should be in good shape?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm confident of that.
All right, let's bring it back next Friday, November the 13th. Is that correct? November 13th, 2020 at 9:00 a.m. Okay?
Same exact court number and everything?
Yes, sir. You'll dial in right here with us.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jackson, thank you for getting on this morning. I'll see you next week, Friday.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay,
Thank you.
I am ready on Ms. Horenstein. If you could unmute your phone, please. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
How are you this morning?
Blessed as usual, Your Honor. How are
Yes,
you?
You are. I am doing quite well, thank you. I need you to state your full name for the record.
Stephanie Arlette Horenstein, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Horenstein, and you are in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your hearing by way of Zoom this morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
Wonderful. I have the following matter, 200-445-7101. Ms. Horenstein, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, Your Honor.
You are?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about it.
So yesterday, I have a friend that I'm close to that used to work here at the program, but she now works somewhere else. She has 2.5 years of recovery, and she's also connected with DRP. So she asked if I wanted to go with her to group last night. So I signed up. It's an outpatient. I don't know if you know, the lady says she knows you very, Tracy Hawthorne.
Yes, we work a lot with Detroit Recovery Project.
So I signed up there to go twice a week. I'm still, because I don't have permission from you yet, I still have to be escorted to appointments and meetings. So I got permission to do that with her. I enjoyed the group a lot. So what else is new? I did a group with Alice. I'm still waiting on my transcripts from California to be able to get my ID to be able to start looking for work. I'm going to a meeting on Saturday. Hopefully Miss Alice gets to meet us there. The group's planning on meeting at Palmer Park on Saturday. And I was hoping to get permission from you to go visit my dad this weekend to see my son.
Okay, that's here in the city. Is that correct? Or it's in
West Bloomfield.
Yes. All right. Very good. Very good. And so your dad wants you to come there to visit?
Yeah.
Do you think you're ready?
Yes. He wants
Okay.
me to do an overnight, but I don't think I want to bombard my son with an overnight the first time I see him in a year. I don't know. I just think he might feel sad when I leave in the morning if I start off slow with a few hours. That's just my thoughts on it. So.
All right. All right. So, and you believe you're ready, that you can go and do it, maintain where you are,
Yes, ma'am.
remembering where you've come from and the
Yes.
progress that you've made, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Very good. I'll hear from Alice J and from Miss Cleveland. On surface, I don't have an issue with it at all, as long as you are going to see your son. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Very good. How are they treating you at Gather House?
Wonderfully.
Okay.
Staff is great. I was a little upset last Tuesday. The girl that I came here with from outpatient left overnight, but she was brought back the next morning. So staff, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning and I was worried sick, and staff really helped me out and talked to me, and I was a mess. But
came back. I had heard about that and I was concerned about you.
she came back and she wasn't upset because I had told Miss Kendrick forgot she was on tether. So I couldn't get a hold of her on her phone. She didn't leave with a coat. She left in slippers. So at that point, she wasn't mad. I said, if that ever happens to me, which God forbid it doesn't, call my case manager, my tether agent. I don't care what you have to do. Like I care about you, and do the same for me. So, and she's back, and she's safe, and she's doing good. We just did devotion together. She's when she's grounded, so she can't go anywhere for 14 days, but when she's able to go, she's going to go to DRP with me. Right now she can't leave the building for anything right now. So
all right, very good. I'm glad to see that you were able to navigate that crisis. I was concerned about you when Miss Cleveland shared it with me. That I'm glad you were able to do that. Very good. Very good. Tell me something you've learned since the last time I've seen you.
Well, it's kind of like a little personal, but I learned because like I had a crush on somebody, and they were saying that like you have to work on yourself for at least a year because you're not ready at all to be in any kind of like relationship until you work on yourself. So that's also something that was brought up in group last night with Miss Hawthorne. So yeah, I just learned that, because at first I didn't really understand it, but now just with prayer and just talking to other people, I understand why. So that's learning just to work on yourself before you can really have, any kind of relationships that's outside of recovery. So
very good. Very good. Well, you look like you're doing well. I'm
Thank you.
very proud of your progress, your working, your program.
Thank you.
You've been in contact with your family, which I believe is a part of recovery, especially when they are healthy relationships. And so I'm extremely proud of you, Ms. Horenstein. Look at you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, I want to hear from Alice J, and then I'll go to you, Miss Cleveland.
Oh, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Hi, Stephanie.
Good morning. If I could say you're looking mighty sharp today.
And you look mighty pretty. You look mighty pretty yourself, darling. Yeah, I don't disagree with her going to her father's. I just think that it needs to be like maybe 3 to 4 hour visits at a time until she gets a little bit more stronger. It's not that it's a dangerous place. It's just that where he takes her emotionally. And so, but it is good for her to see her son and for her son to see him. So I definitely agree with that. We just do it at baby steps. Are you able to hear me? Because I can't hear you, miss.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm on the court issued computer, so I don't know why it goes out, the sound, but you all let me know. So, but I want to thank you, Alice J, for mentioning that, because I had a question mark when Ms. Horenstein said something about, not spending the night, because most people, they want to go and they want to spend the night, they want to spend the weekend and all of that. And that's not always the right thing to do, the best thing to do, rather. So thank you for shedding some light on that. And so hopefully you'll work through some things where your dad is concerned, but I applaud you for even recognizing that, hey, that might be a little bit too much emotionally. So let's take small steps. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Anything else, Alice J, you want to add?
She's definitely, participating in her recovery as she was before. She is, you know, doing really well in there. I need to continue to work with her on some areas of not being so, caught up into other people's recovery process. But at this point, she's doing really great. And I applaud her because when that situation happened, she called everybody.
Okay.
He was calling everybody. And so, that is what we do in recovery. We call it till somebody answers the phone.
Yes. Yes. Very good. Very good. Lets us know she's in recovery, right?
Yes.
There you go. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Miss Cleveland, anything you'd like me to know? I know we staffed Miss Horenstein's case. And so is there anything else that I need to know or anything that's changed?
No, Your Honor, just so you know, the referral was sent over to JAMS because I know she is just starting to possibly get day classes. She's still escorted. I believe that's still a condition that's going to happen the weekend that she visits as well. And they're over at the Gather House, Ms. Kendrick's and all, they are abiding by very strict quarantine type measures to ensure that there's safety there. So that's the other reason why the escort is kind of necessary, and they don't want anything coming back over there. So she knows as soon as she's out and about independently, which will not be for a while, she'll have to start testing randomly.
All right, very good, very good. And so, Miss Cleveland, I am going to, I want her to go and visit her son. I'm going to agree with both Ms. Horenstein and Alice J that let's limit that visit to 3 to 4 hours, okay?
Okay.
And then take one step at a time. All right. And so also, Miss Cleveland, I'm looking at Ms. Horenstein is still in phase 1. And so what's keeping her in phase 1? Let's talk about that. She's been with us since March. She's been doing what she's supposed to do. She's following the guidelines of the program. And so about why she's still in phase 1, or if she's ready to go to phase 2.
Your Honor, I am gladly recommending her for phase 2. She is compliant with everything that is requested. She is very, very engaged with her sobriety. She's helpful to others. And I think she can, because of that situation where they're not mobile like they could be, she can work on the things in phase 2 that she needs to work on.
All right, how do you feel about that, Ms. Hornstein?
Excited, happy,
Ready?
proud.
You ready? Yes. Ms. Alice J., any objection to that?
No, I don't have any objections, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, let me hear from both of you.
Judge, I would have no objections to promotion today. I would have no objections to the home visit. I want to congratulate Ms. Hornstein. A good report. You're doing a good job. We're proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. Have the visit with your father and your son. Return safely. I know there are people who doubted you when you first came into the program, but you've proven them wrong. You've stayed with the program. Continue the good work. Be safe, Ms. Hornstein. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you,
Hornstein.
Mr.
Thank
Reed.
you, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Your Honor, if I might add, Ms. Hornstein, you've come a long way. You've done a great job. You're showing great insight with respect to your son. We're very proud of you, ma'am. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Mr. Fife.
All right, very good. And so I need everyone in the courtroom to join me in congratulating Ms. Hornstein on her promotion to phase 2. Congratulations to you. Very proud of you, very proud of you. Ma'am, take that hat off in my courtroom, please. I'm gonna turn your camera off. Okay, thank you. All right, phase 2, let's continue to work hard. Let's continue to do the things that you're supposed to do. Recovery looks good on you. It's going to be a lifetime journey, but today it looks good on you. And so continue to work your program. I know that 3 weeks will bring us to Thanksgiving. So I am going to, yes, can you all believe that? I am going to push, yes, I'm going to push Ms. Hornstein out to December 4th, 2020 at 9:00 a.m. Understanding, Ms. Cleveland, that if we need to make an adjustment for earlier, we certainly can, okay?
Your Honor, would that be, yes, ma'am, would that be a Zoom hearing or face-to-face for
Oh, no,
her?
you know what? Let's do a face-to-face, yes, face-to-face. And actually, Miss Cleveland, to keep everything on track, we could do, thank you for that reminder. We could do, you can do that with her on the 23rd or the 24th of November, and that way you can put her back on track so we don't mess up our docket. Can we do that? You all can work out the logistics of it, okay? I'll put it down for the 23rd. But it'll be a face-to-face, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And then you can do the 3 weeks out from that Friday, okay? All right.
May I say one thing, Your Honor? Face-to-face is when I just call Miss Cleveland, or do I come down?
No, you're not coming down to the courthouse. Miss Cleveland will work out tell you the logistics of how you all will do the face-to-face, but we're not doing.
I was gonna say poor Miss Cleveland, I call her every week, so she's I call her every week already. But thank you, Your Honor. And I wanted to say have a safe and blessed Thanksgiving, and blessings to you and your family and everybody in the courtroom.
And same to you. Same to you. Good to see you. All right, Miss Hornstein, you're not making me eat. You're not making me eat crow today. I'm good.
I let Mr. Reed do it already.
You know he'll do it every time, right? All right. Enjoy your day. Good to see you.
Okay, you
Take
too.
care. All right, I'm ready. On last name Russell. Russell has joined us. Russell needs to go to the breakout room. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge. I'm going with it.
All right, Miss Russell, good morning to you.
With her.
Good morning.
All right, I'm glad that you joined us. I was hoping I didn't have to put a warrant.
Oh, no, not at all. You ain't got to come looking for me.
All right, we don't want to look for you. We don't want to look for. We will. but preference is not to. I am going to, glad you're here. I'm going to send you to a breakout room with Attorney Reed. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right. And so I'll need you to accept the invitation. And I am assigning you both to breakout room number 1.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. We'll keep moving. I have next Miss Washington. She probably needs to go in a breakout room as well. Miss Washington, I'm going to ask you to unmute your phone. I'm going to start your video.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Right. Mr. Ficus, do you need to go into a breakout room with Miss Washington?
Yes, just briefly, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. Are you okay this morning, Miss Washington?
Yes, I was just left 36th district. It's a lot going on. I finally got it together now.
All right. Very good. All right.
Thanks for asking.
All right. I am going to send you to a breakout room to you and, well, where are you, Mr. Oh, I see you now. I'm sending you all to breakout room number 2. Please accept that invitation.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. All right. Let's see if I can keep moving even a little bit. I think Miss Kennedy is on this morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
You hear me?
Yes, I can. Good morning.
Oh, okay. Good morning. Good morning. Miss Kennedy, we have some issues. I think you need to go in a breakout room.
Yes, I do.
All right. What I'm going to do is the part of your hearing that has no issues. And then when the attorney comes back, because we've got some issues, and they're issues that we've talked about before. And so I'm struggling, but I want you to speak with the attorneys first, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let me call your case. State your full name for the record.
Arian Kennedy.
All right. Ms. Kennedy, you are in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your case heard by way of Zoom?
Yes, I do.
Wonderful. I have the following case number Z8071371. All right, Miss Kennedy, outside of the other stuff, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Okay, tell me what that means to you that you're doing wonderful.
I'm still doing my groups and my meetings. I'm still seeing DRP twice a week. I'm meeting with Alice Shea. I'm working my steps.
All right, very good. Did you also do the sobriety weekend with ARMS?
Yes, I did.
Tell me about it. What did you think of it? What did you learn?
I learned a lot. They had us do time management groups. They also had us do a lot of, what would you call it? Working together, teamwork.
Okay. All right, very good. Tell me what did you learn while you were there?
I learned a lot about how your childhood could affect you, as well as what you have learned can be affected towards your child.
Absolutely.
You've completely gone out.
What did you learn about substances while you were there?
I learned a lot about substances and the effect that they have on you and your brain and your neurological system.
All right, very good. Did the staff treat you well while you were at the sobriety weekend?
They were wonderful.
Very good. The accommodations were good? The facility?
Yes.
All right, very, very good. And so Ms. Cleveland also indicated that you completed alcohol highway safety.
Yes.
All right. And so what do you think about it? What did you take away from it?
Oh, that is so, the video that they show you in there is so breathtaking, so real.
Yeah, what about it? What was breathtaking?
The poor, I can't think of her name right now. I knew it, but the young lady that was burnt by the drunk driver.
Yes, she survived it, but her quality of life was diminished quite a bit, right?
Yes, it was.
And then didn't some other people die?
Yes.
Yeah. And they weren't drinking, were they?
No.
No. If somebody else made a decision to drink, get behind the wheel of a car, and totally devastated their lives. And so that's why drinking and driving is such a serious offense in any city, in any state, because it shatters lives, right?
Yes, it does.
Absolutely. All right. Your community service, Ms. Cleveland indicated that you were referred to community service. Have you been able to start that?
My community service was done with Naomi's Nest.
So you've completed it?
Yes, I have.
Okay, all 40 hours. What did you think about it? That's while you were there, right?
Yes.
Okay, I failed to record it that you had completed it. So now I have it. Very good, very good. All right. And so what have you been struggling with since the last time I've seen you, if anything?
I'm not really having any struggles, just dealing with my recovery and realizing that recovery is for a lifetime, that it's something that you deal with on a daily basis. And even when you think you're doing good, that it can always creep back up on you.
Yes, it can. And that's why we do the classes. That's why we do the treatment. That's why we make sure that we align you with resources. And sometimes it seems like overkill, but it's a day by day struggle, right? It's a day by day task that you have to take on in order
Yeah.
to maintain. Absolutely. And how are you doing with that task, Ms. Kennedy?
I'm doing well. I do struggle daily, but I have a lot of support.
Okay. And so what do you do? Thank you for your honesty that you struggle daily. What do you do on those days that you're struggling?
I do reach out. I have Miss Hawthorne on speed dial, as
Good.
well Alicia, who is someone else who works at DRP. And I also talk to Miss Cleveland probably about twice a week.
Okay. Very good. How have your meetings with Alice J been?
Oh, they're wonderful. It's really enlightening. And I absolutely love Alice J's laugh. So
All right. Very good. What do you need us to help you with?
currently, I don't believe I need anything. I'm in a good spot right now. I just recently started training back with Liberty. We're starting our training to get ready for next year's tax season.
Okay. All right. Very good. So you know we have some issues today. I'm going to hear from Alice J because I have to get her in a breakout room with an attorney. But let me hear from Alice J.
Oh, hi, Your Honor. Miss Kennedy, she is doing great, and I didn't know about the situation until yesterday. So I think that Miss Kennedy needs to continue to trust us and just being forthright with those type of situations and allowing us to guide her what to do. You know what I mean? She with me and Miss Kennedy, I'm really trying to just make sure she's good as far as having food and and her parenting and her son, because she is a single mom, and I think that plays a big factor in making sure that she's good and not being stressed out.
Okay. All right. Very good. Is there anything that we need to address from a court perspective in order to help Miss Kennedy.
No, but I just think that she just needs to continue to be active with us, and we got her. You know, she's good. We got her. As a team, we got her.
Yes, we do. We do, Miss Kennedy. And you said something very key, Alice J. You said she needs to trust us. If there's an issue, let us know. We're all here to help you. If you're having some difficulty with getting around or transporting your son, let us know. We're here to help you. Because when you take matters into your own hands, you only make things worse for yourself. And that's unfortunate because I've seen you do some good work since you've been with us. And so you've got to trust us to be able to help you so that we can help you. We can't help in areas we don't know about. All right, thank you, Alice J. All right, Miss Cleveland, what do you want to tell me about Miss Kennedy? Mr. Fikens has in fact joined us. And so he's going to go in a breakout room with Miss Kennedy to talk about an issue that was raised in staffing, and then even later on in the evening. And so, Miss Cleveland.
Your Honor, as it relates to her drug treatment court practices and protocols, she is compliant. She's doing everything that she's supposed to be doing. She has completed her phase 2 requirements. She has done Naomi's Nest, and I just wanted the judge to be aware that she was at Naomi's Nest well beyond 29 days. So I think they almost stayed there because she was there earlier in the year when all of that shutdown was going on. I'm almost positive she was there for about 3 months. And so she's done well over the numbers that, might be, the mandatory hours of service there, plus the treatment hours and everything. The other thing is she is in touch with me. We do have frank discussions. We do talk about what's going on or something that might adjust her circumstances. And she usually is forthright, but I do have a feeling that, she can trust us, trust the court, be honest. That's the thing I always stress to all my clients. Please be honest, because you're in the court of law, and that's the best way to move forward. So that's the only thing that I would like to report as far as the protocol. She's doing well with the protocol. It's just, she's got to be honest with us. Can't hear you yet.
We still can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now,
okay, I'm going to, after Ms. Kennedy goes to the breakout room, I'm going to switch devices and get on my home computer because this one is fading out more than usual. And so, Ms. Kennedy, I was asking, is there anything you wanted to share with the court at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And so I'm going to send you to a breakout room with Mr. Fikens, and then Mr. Fikens come back and tell us, where do we go from here?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Yes, Shannon.
And actually, your invitation is going to be to breakout room number 3.
Thank you.
All right. All right, very good. It looks like we're waiting on Ms. Reed to come back. And so I'm going to take just, yes.
I'm so sorry, Your Honor. Billy Joe Yaya is having an issue at the house. She cannot connect. Her internet is not working. She's supposed to Zoom in today, but they've been sending me messages. Chrissy can't seem to resolve whatever it is, so they're asking if we can have another day or another time to see her.
Yes, absolutely. Especially since Miss Chrissy Ms. Hemphill was in our staffing on yesterday.
you went out, Miss. Can't hear you.
I need to switch devices. I'm gonna switch devices. Give me a second.
Thank you. I got it.
Sheepy. Yes. Come on. Did you get him water? Deontay? Where's DeAndre?
Ma'am, I'm not going to keep muting your phone and you keep unmuting it. Next time I'm gonna take you out of my courtroom. I don't want to hear your home conversations.
Are we in the courtroom?
Yes.
I don't see anybody, but I just see you. I don't. Okay.
We're here, Mr. Reed. I had to switch devices.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
get lost. I get lost and I get worried. I'm
Yeah.
alone so much. Good to see you, Judge. Thank you. I'm not lost.
All right. Are we ready on Ms. Russell?
Yes, we are, Judge.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. And so, Alice J., I think that is it for you for today, because the other things with, if I can get my everything together over here, with Miss Kennedy, Mr. Fikens is working out or talking to. Oh, they just joined us in the courtroom. All right, Mr. Fikens.
Yes.
On Miss Kennedy.
Well, Judge, I've seen 6 ROAs from that.
6
Miss Winston.
ROA.
Yes, there's, I see 6. She does have an attorney for that. By way of explanation, we talked about the more important issue, and that is you got to follow the law. Emergencies will happen. Emergencies always happen, and the response can't be to respond to the emergency is to break the law. You have to make some other plans, and you got to do some other things besides just responding to an emergency in a quick way. So I know she understands that, Judge, and we apologize for our behavior. It was the correct thing to do. It was then exacerbated by the fact that she didn't come forth with that.
He didn't, and that's a problem, Mr. Fikens.
That is a problem, Judge, because I think we could have, and then it compounded itself because then there are 2 separate incidences, which had we known about the first one, we could have solved that, or at least made some provision for it, cured it, so that the second thing, the more worse one, wouldn't have happened, where now she was issued a driving while license suspended ticket. She did, she made an appointment in February, she tells me, for a license, to get her license reinstated. They gave her an appointment of September. It's no excuse for driving between February and September. You had to make some other provisions or come back and tell us that it's too long of a wait until September. We probably could have helped her out. I'm sorry we didn't help her out, but we didn't know.
We didn't know, yeah.
And it could have done it. And now she faces, she faces an additional year suspension. So her goal of getting a license has probably been removed. She's not scheduled. She tells me that she's not scheduled to get her license back until March of 2021 anyway now. And I think they're going to tack another year on or more, but a minimum of a year. So, I mean, I feel bad for her. I can only say that I'm, glad that, you know, we were able to help her, try to find some direction for her, but it's a failure on her part. She does everything else right, Judge, and I'm happy about that. She got a good report today outside of that. I'm happy about that, but I'm real concerned that you can't respond to an emergency situation by breaking the law. You just can't do it. And we talked about that mostly because that was foremost on my mind. As far as recommendations, Judge, I feel bad that she's going to really, she has an attorney for these matters. Seymour Schwartz is her attorney. She has dates on these matters. Hopefully that can work out somewhat to her advantage, but she has to, and I just heard the tail end of this when I came back to the court from the other lady, Miss Washington. You have to trust us. And I encourage Miss Kennedy to trust us, to allow us to help her, to think she's not on her own out there. She doesn't have to do it on her own. She can rely on us. And maybe the problem is that it could have been solved so easily had she come forward after the first event. And now we're just in a conundrum of problems. And I feel bad, but I don't know, Judge. I don't know what to do. I think she's going to find out that she's going to not get her license back for a very long time because of this.
Yeah. So, Miss Kennedy, I know you understand, and I don't want you to get into the facts of the case, but in problem-solving court, contact with the police, unacceptable. It can't happen. Not while you're in problem-solving court. We're helping you, and you're out there doing things that cause the police to have probable cause to stop you and say probably you're driving and your license is suspended, or probably, you know, whatever. You can't do it while you're in problem-solving court. You cannot do it. And so I have to sanction you. And usually, Mr. Fikens, this kind of contact will warrant a couple of days in jail. But what I am going to do, given the time that we're in, I'm going to issue a sanction of 25 hours of community service. But I'm also going to hold in abeyance 3 days of jail time at the Wayne County Jail if you get stopped again and issue tickets for driving. I'm not saying you're innocent or guilty. You are innocent in this country, but it is the contact that I'm addressing. Okay? So you've got to get 25. Do you understand, Ms. Kennedy?
Yes, I do.
So you've got to get 25 hours of community service completed. And I'll give you 30 days to get it done. I'll give you 30 days to get it done.
Thank you, Judge.
And so, Ms. Cleveland, make sure that it is a court-approved facility through our human resources, our community service specialist. And so 25 hours. Ms. Kennedy, I'm being more than kind because generally people go to jail for this. I think that it is a slap in our faces for us to be helping you and then you to turn around and even have contact with the police that would have them charge you with driving while your license is suspended. And we're working with you in problem-solving court on an operating while impaired charge. That's not fair to us. And it's not fair to you because now it moves your target date for getting a license. So I'm not going to bring those matters into problem-solving court. I'm not going to place them. Ms. Kennedy, I need your video. Okay. I'm not going to place them on her drug treatment court contract. I can't do it. She's going to have to go between two judges, the very thing that I don't like people to do when they're in specialty court. But let's see what, I think you said Judge Hennett Johnson had them.
Yes, Judge. I think
Let's see
all of them.
All of them. Let's see what Judge Hennett Johnson does. And then at some point, we'll see. But for now, no, she's going to have to go between two judges.
Yes, Your Honor. We understand.
All right. So we're clear, Ms. Kennedy?
Yes, we are.
All right. Now, I don't want you to get off track with working on your sobriety, staying clean and sober, and working on your recovery because you're doing a fantastic job. Mr. Reed says it all the time. Drug treatment court is more than just about clean and sober and recovery. We're hoping that you'll learn some things that you'll apply to every aspect of your life, including being a law-abiding citizen, right? including if you're gonna drive a car, that you have a driver's license, that you have insurance, that you have registration, and all of those things. Those are messages that we want to convey and we hope to convey in drug treatment court. Okay?
Okay.
All right, very good. Any questions for me?
No.
All right, Miss Cleveland, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor, but I would like to add that, for her next court date, can it be a Zoom hearing? Because some of these things are kind of unfolding, including her court dates and things like that. And her tentative end date was going to be January 31st, I'm sorry. So she needed to kind of move into phase 3 to get those 90 days, but I know in light of what's just happened, so I'm asking if possibly we can do the Zoom hearing next as opposed to a face-to-face, so we can discuss her next step forward while we're in court.
So you're asking that her next date be a court date?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, that's fine. And I'm setting that date for December. Okay, give me 1 second, please. I'm setting that date for December 4th, 2020 at 9:00 a.m. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. All right, Miss Kennedy. Come on, let's get on track. And hopefully things will work out with Judge Hennett Johnson, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. And thank you, Alice J. I appreciate you. I need 1 second.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Can I make a suggestion? Because, our lawyer, Mr. Hollins, he works with people with traffic situations.
Okay.
And they can do community service through neighborhood legal services as well.
All right. Why don't you give me 1 second, please? Yeah, somebody's ringing my doorbell. Give that information to Miss Cleveland. I won't have an issue with that, Miss Cleveland.
Okay.
I won't have an itch. I got to see what's going on at the front door. Give me 1 second, please.
Be careful. Be careful.
Yeah.
And also, Ms. Alice J., you two can also talk about that when you have your discussion as far as that, and then on my end, I will work with community service over here, the coordinator of community service, to make sure that whatever, that is established, the judge is in agreement with it, that it, filters through our program, so that way it'll be.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, Ms. Kennedy, too.
Miss Cleveland, in the courtroom, this is the court reporter. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm having a difficult time kind of hearing you.
Okay, I'll get the camera. Is this better? I mean, the mic.
Yeah, that's better. Yes, thank you so much.
They always tell me to talk up. Oh, okay. Thank you. Very interesting, because when I go out in public, I can be heard.
All right, I apologize for that. Did we get the next court date? I gave it for December 4th, which would be a return to court date for Miss Kennedy. Alice J., did I answer your question that I didn't have an issue? All right, very good. Thank you for your service today, Alice J. Always appreciate you, okay?
Thank you for having me, Your Honor. It's always a pleasure to serve.
All right, we'll see you next week. All right,
All right,
thank you, Miss Kennedy. Take care.
And you as well.
All right. I am ready now for Miss Russell. Miss Russell, Braylon Russell. If
Yes,
you,
Judge.
there you go. Can you unmute yourself for me, Miss Russell?
Yes.
All right, very good. State your full name for me.
Braylon Mahogany Russell.
All right, Miss Russell, you are in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your hearing today by way of Zoom?
Yes.
Wonderful. I have the following. Oh, I don't have a case number for Miss Russell. Can someone place the case number on the record?
It's a transfer case also.
Okay.
The transfer case number from 35th District Court is 19C41492.
And what's the charge?
The charge is O, operating with vehicle impaired, OWVI.
Operating while visibly impaired. Okay, very good.
Yes.
And then, do you know what city she's coming from?
Plymouth.
Plymouth?
35th District, yes.
Plymouth,
Okay.
Plymouth.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you, Miss Cleveland. Mr. Reed has already placed his appearance on the record. Ms. Russell has already agreed to have her hearing in our virtual courtroom. And so, Ms. Cleveland, are you presenting Ms. Russell on today?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm presenting Ms. Russell for, and recommending her for sobriety court. Ms. Russell is a 24-year-old African-American female, sorry about that. She has completed 3 years of Wayne State University, and she's also enrolled currently at Dorsey College of Business, and she's attempting to receive her certificate in medical billing. She is employed full-time. She does not have any children. Ms. Russell wants to participate in our specialty court program. She is at least 18 years of age. Ms. Russell admits to having a substance abuse addiction, her drug of choice. She says it's marijuana, but she is here for an alcohol charge, so we put that down, but the marijuana, she does not consume it by inhaling, she consumes it by eating, and the alcohol, you know, she says she has had use of that. She was supposed to go test, which I do have a result, but for some reason I'm unable to access it on the JAMS, but I did get confirmation that she did appear to test. I'm just waiting for them at JAMS to work that out and report the results to me. I also want the court to be aware that she also has a retail fraud pending matter in the district court in Troy, Michigan. And also upon further background investigation of her, I found that she has a warrant for a domestic violence matter in Birmingham, Michigan. She is eligible for drug treatment court, and I am recommending her, Your Honor.
All right, and so Mr. Reed, let me hear from you. She has some issues that, you know, need to be resolved because I want her in good legal standing by the time she finishes with us.
Yes, Judge, thank you. For the record, Jesse Reed, Drug Court Defense Attorney. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to Ms. Russell in breakout room. We did go over drug treatment court goals and purposes. She was respectful, polite, courteous. I was impressed with all that. Judge, we talked about drug treatment court, many of the things on the contracts. We talked about drug testing minimum 2 times a week. We talked about counseling, NAA meetings. I advised her not to get overwhelmed because we do things at levels. She would start out at level 1. The main requirements at level 1 would be the drug testing 2 times a week random, counseling, and NAA meetings. We also talked about community service, alcohol highway safety, arms. We talked about the court's ability to amend the contract, to change the contract, to delete the things from the contract. She understands that. She also understands that she will get a copy of the contract, and any changes, she'll be made aware of that. We talked about the benefits. This case could be closed with improvement. We talked about the possible sanctions. She could serve up to 93 days in the county jail. Judge, I was impressed with the young lady, 24 years old. She's a graduate of Cass Tech High School. I advised her that at one time Cass Tech was the best high school in the city of Detroit, and I don't know if that's still the situation. But when I was in school, Cass Tech was the best high school in the city of Detroit. She indicates that she has no children. She indicates she has no children, Judge. She wants to do the program. I'm recommending her for the program. She advised me that she was in an accident and was in the hospital for, I think it was November the 4th. While she was in the hospital, she was given some medication which may show up on her drug test. Uh, I advised her that if she has any prescription medicine, she should give that to Miss Cleveland so we'll know what she's taking, but she cannot take narcotics, prescription medicine while she's in drug treatment court. She'll have to get a non-narcotic if that's what's going on. Judge, she was a very nice young lady, pleasant to talk with. I'm recommending her for the program. Thank you, Judge. That's all. Thank you.
All right, very good. And so I do have a question, Ms. Cleveland. Who referred Ms. Russell to us? Was it by a judge or, oh, she's the transfer case?
That's transfer, Judge.
Okay, now did she come to us as a transfer case because she's trying to get a restricted license or because the city of 35th District Court does not have a drug treatment court?
Judge,
The notes that I had,
Go ahead, Ms.
No, I
Cleveland.
was just going to say, the notes that came over with the order from 35th District Court, it just says it's going to be transferred to specialty court program at sentencing. So that must have been an option that was given to her at that date. This was signed from July 21st, 2020, but they don't state even in the information that was sent over the reason why.
All right, Ms. Russell, let me ask you, are you interested in participating in drug treatment court?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me why.
Well, I don't want this to happen again. I don't want to be on probation. I don't want to be in no legal trouble. I want to be able to finish school, finish my career. And I can't do that if I'm in trouble and I'm on probation and I got legal problems. That don't even make sense. If I want a career, then I got to do right by myself. And I want to be on the right path, and I want to be on a positive path. And I don't want any mistakes and dumb things that I've done to take, the opportunities that I have in front of me away from me. And that's part of the reason why I want to be in this program and why I want to finish successfully.
And do you understand that marijuana and alcohol does not fit into your plan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How long have you been doing marijuana?
Since I was 21.
Okay, for a minute. And then alcohol?
I started drinking when I was 21 as well.
Okay. All right. You sound like you have some real goals for yourself, some big plans for yourself in life. And I believe you can do them. I believe you know you can do them. But I also want to impress upon you that if you're smoking marijuana and drinking alcohol, it might be the root or causing you to engage in some behavior that could totally shatter the plans that you have for yourself. And so while you're with us, we're going to work on making sure that we have things in place to help you to overcome those challenges, to help you dig a little bit deeper, to understand what may be the root of why you've ended up here with me, okay? And I need you to do that work. You'll have to be open and honest with yourself first, and then with us so that we are able to help you. Drug treatment court is not your ordinary probation. I don't know if you've ever been on probation before, but this is not your ordinary probation. You will see more of us than probably you've ever seen of a court before. because we start off seeing each other every 2 weeks. I'll know your progress. You'll be assigned a case manager and they will be in contact with you to know your progress. And when you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then we're going to have some issues immediately. It won't be, oh, 30 days for a hearing or 45 days for,
Right.
no, it'll be, something's going on. The judge is going to see you today or in the morning. And so that's one of the things, or some of the things that we do in drug treatment court that sets us apart from the ordinary probation. We are here to help you. We're here to encourage you, but it does require work and sacrifice on your behalf. And so I'm glad that Mr. Reed told you don't get overwhelmed by the contract that you'll see or that becomes my order, because it can change. And we also will be here to help you and guide you step by step so that you can be successful, but it does require you to get up and work. And so do I have your commitment to work the program?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it starts today, Miss Russell. Today, no marijuana. Today, no alcohol. You know how much marijuana is no marijuana?
None.
Zero. There you go.
Zero.
None at all. None at all. If you have friends that you are commingling with during COVID, I want you to make sure that you're not eating from them, you're not drinking from them, because everything that shows up in your urine test, you are going to be held accountable for. I don't want to hear about my friends put it on the salad, some of the crazy stuff we've heard. You know those friends that are even capable of doing it. So bring your own food, bring your own drink, because when you go to test, you're going to face Judge Holmes. They're not going to. I do want to caution you while you are, as a part of my order, Ms. Cleveland, is that no hookah, no e-cigarettes, and no CBD products, because they will cause you or can cause you to test positive for THC. I'm not going to try to figure out if it's the CBD lotion or the CBD
Right.
aspirin. I'm not trying to figure that out. All I'm going to do is see a positive THC, and I'm going to deal with you according to that. So I'm telling you, don't do the e-cigs, the cigarettes, don't do the hookah, don't do these products that have the CBD and the hemp and all of that, because they are testing positive and it's going to cause you problems in this program. Even with a medical marijuana card, you can't do my program because you can't use marijuana while you are in drug treatment court. So do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. Do you have any questions for me, Miss Russell?
No, not as of right now.
All right. Do I have your commitment to work the program?
Yes, you do.
All right, wonderful. Then I'm looking forward to working with you, Mr. Reed. Did you take the time to determine that pursuant to Michigan law, your client does in fact qualify to participate in drug treatment court?
Yes, Judge, pursuant to Michigan law, she does qualify to participate in drug treatment court.
All right, wonderful. And did you also, I heard you say that you took the time to explain to your client about the contract and how it can be changed at any time. And to your knowledge, your client understood that. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor. We also talked about the benefits and we talked about sanctions. She indicated that she understood all my information, and I asked if she had any questions, and she said she didn't have any questions, Judge.
All right, wonderful. Miss Cleveland, did Miss Russell undergo any assessments with respect to 36th District Court?
Yes, Your Honor, she did the needs plus and I have reviewed it.
All right. Very good. Thank you. And then I needed to know status of her driver's license.
She reported that her license is suspended. I believe that's what she put. I have it here.
All right. Is it suspended, Ms.
Suspended.
Russell?
Yes.
All right. No driving, no driving, no driving. You cannot be problem solving court and out there violating the law. That's not going to work out well. Okay.
I ain't going nowhere.
All right. Very good. And so, Miss Cleveland, did you also take the time to determine whether or not your client is or whether she's ever been a violent offender and whether or not she is a substantial risk to the public?
Yes, I did, Your Honor, and she is not a violent offender, nor do I deem her a substantial risk to the public.
All right, very good. Then with that said, I welcome you, Ms. Russell, to our drug treatment court program. I look forward to working with you. It starts today. You're going to see me in 2 weeks. I expect you when you come back to see me on November 20th, 2020 that's actually 2 weeks, y'all, the 20th of November. And you're going to come back and see me, yes, at 9:30 a.m. And you know what, Miss Cleveland, do we need to move her to another date or does she need to be on Fridays?
I think for this purpose, because of holidays and stuff, that Friday would be okay until.
And then we'll look
after
at it
holiday.
later. Okay, great. So I'll do November 20th, 2020, 9:30 a.m. for you, Miss Russell, okay?
Okay.
All right, very good. Look forward to working with you, ma'am, okay?
You as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you,
Thank
Miss
you.
Cleveland. Great job on your intake. I have a couple of housekeeping matters and then I'll go to Miss Washington. Let me do Cornelius Crowell, Z806031. Is Mr. Crowell in good shape?
Yes, he is. You're
All
right.
right.
He's doing well.
And what is his return to court date?
It would be November 23rd.
Oh, I had the 30th, but you're changing to
I'm
20th?
sorry. No,
No,
I'm sorry.
gonna do.
The 30th.
Okay, so it'll be the 30th.
Yes.
All right,
Yes, sorry.
very good,
Sorry.
no problem. And then I
No.
also have LaQuisha Walker. I have case numbers U51074019, U51098619 for LaQuisha Walker.
I thought I saw Mr. Yancey on the screen, but I don't know what happened to him.
Okay, somebody get a date for LaQuisha Walker from Mr.
Okay.
Yancey. Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm sorry. Hold on, let me make sure he didn't give me a date.
Okay.
No, he did not give me a date for LaQuisha
Are you
Walker.
trying to reach out to him?
So I
Okay.
need a date for LaQuisha Walker,
Okay.
and that would be a return. Or should she have been in court today? No, she did a face-to-face today. All right, so let's get a date for her. And then I also have Billy Joe Yaya. I have U32900516, U37844217, U487444018, and U534612119. And Miss Cleveland, you have indicated that they're having some technical difficulties. Since Ms. Hemphill appeared in our staffing on yesterday, I am going to adjourn Ms. Yaya's return to court date to, that would be November, what would that be, the 13th, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
November 13th, 2020 at 9:00 a.m. And then the last case I have on my docket before I call Ms. Walker's case is for Tiffany Coleman, case number Z8058541. And Ms. Coleman, I don't know if she had a face-to-face or if she was supposed to be in court today. So
I'm asking Mr. Yancey right now.
I need Mr. Yancey's date so I can close out my docket. And those are the only matters that I have on my docket other than Ms. Washington. Are there any additional matters on my docket?
No, ma'am.
All right, wonderful. All right, and so Ms. Washington, I'm going to have you unmute your phone, please. And I'm also going to have you start your video. Ms. Washington?
Your Honor,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt, but Mr. McDaniel is also on the docket for today as well.
Mr. McDaniel,
See Ms. Drew about my docket because she is the one that controls my docket. See Ms. Drew. And Ms. Drew, let me know if Mr. McDaniel is on my docket, but you control my docket.
Oh, I'm on the docket.
On Wednesday, he was supposed to be.
Well, he was there. I'm just,
Then he was.
don't hold him. I'm gonna tell you something.
Ms. Drew, reach out to Taylor, Ms. Brand, okay? Ms. Drew, did you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Reach out to Taylor Branch or to Matthew Lorenzo.
Okay, man, it's right here.
It just
Okay.
enjoy my memory that he would be with me today. but I'm ready on Miss Washington. I have the following cases, you 226-65415 and you 420-98717. Miss Washington, please state your full name for the record.
Transasha R. Washington. I'm
All
sorry, I
right,
have small children.
that's okay. Miss Washington, do you agree to have your case? You're in our virtual courtroom. Do you agree to have your matter heard by way of Zoom on this morning?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Mr. Fikens, I think you went into the breakout room with Miss Washington. It indicates that she is scheduled today for an arraignment on the bench warrant.
Yes, Your Honor. First of all, we want to thank you for allowing us to be seen today. She did post a $500 bond on each matter. It appears that she took a plea back in 2018 in front of Judge Austin Garrett. On March 6th of this year, she posted a cash bond of $300 that was forfeited, however, on August 31st of 2020. And then she reposted a $500 bond on each matter. So she's here, Judge. It was pursuant to a delayed sentence. I want to indicate to this court that she's a very pleasant young woman, very respectful. She told me she's turned around her life. She's obviously not in that business anymore. She works at Ford Motor Company, Judge. And she also said she's ready to launch her website. Now, I'm too old to understand fully what that means, but she's launching a website and it's going to be launched on her birthday. So I think she has turned around her life, Judge. We've talked about her a little bit about her goals and desires, and it certainly is not to stay in that business that she once was in. Your Honor, there is enough bond money to cover any costs and fines. It looks like she owes somewhere around $500 or so, $552 on the 2 tickets. And Judge, we certainly, if there can be any consideration for other bonds which were forfeited, it wasn't a time of COVID, so but certainly we didn't take care of our business in a timely fashion. She wanted to apologize to this court for not taking care of her business. She says that it got away from me, but that's also propelled me to start turning around my life and looking at things. And I encouraged her and congratulated her for coming in through the virtual front door as opposed to being brought through the virtual back door of the courtroom. So I believe her, Judge. She's taken the day off of work to take care of this matter. And she certainly is accepting of anything that this court would do in this regard. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Drew, I'll have to have the courtroom unmute. I had to mute you all. All right, there we go. And so, Ms. Drew, I do have the ROAs for Ms. Washington. And so I do see that she posted cash bonds for both matters. There's one matter showing that she owes $252. And so this was pursuant to, did you say it was pursuant to a delayed sentence? It was.
Yes, Your Honor. Both matters were. And
all right. And so what I'm going to do, Ms. Drew, is on case number 226-65415. I am going to apply that cash bond to our outstanding balance. Mr. Fikens, I'll still give her the dismissal without prejudice. So I'll dismiss that matter.
We sincerely appreciate that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. And then on the second matter that she has, was that also pursuant to a delayed sentence?
Yes, it was, Judge.
All right. She has a $500 cash bond on that one as well. It looks like she has a $300 balance that's due. And so we'll apply that $500 cash to her outstanding balance, and I'll still dismiss that one without prejudice as well.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Thank you.
And so what I'll do is, only because she posted those bonds during COVID, and it was the very beginning of COVID, I'm going to go ahead and reinstate those bonds, Mr. Fikens.
Thank you so
and
much.
so Ms. Drew, she'll probably get some kind of refund on both of those matters, but I'm gonna restate them. If she had paid them way back when, I would not have restated them. I think I can justify clearly why I would reinstate them when they were posted March 6th, I think, which was the week just before everything went haywire in this country. And so I'll reinstate those bonds.
Thank you
All right,
again,
I'm
Judge.
glad you're taking care of your business. I'm glad you're out of business if you're not going to comply with the laws that govern the business. But I'm really glad that you're doing something different, and I wish you well, ma'am, okay?
Thank you.
All right, you have to wait for your paperwork in the mail. Make sure
Okay.
that you hold on to it, okay, and keep it for your records, all right?
Okay. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
very good. Thank you for your patience this morning.
Bye.
Excuse you, Your Honor.
All right. All right, very good. And so, did anybody get dates from Mr. Yancey on Coleman and Walker?
I'm waiting on, Mr. Yancey to call me back for the dates on Walker. We have a Coleman? A Coleman?
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Miss Drew, what are you saying?
I'm waiting on a date for Mr. Yancey. He didn't answer the phone.
Can somebody,
Let me try to reach him another way.
let
Let me try.
somebody know.
Okay, yeah, I'm about to find out, yeah.
All right, so make sure that whenever somebody is placed on my docket, that Ms. Drew knows about it, so that we don't have any issues, because Ms. Drew is the keeper of my docket. That's the person who controls the docket. And so now I'm seeing that we have Mr. McDaniels on for 10:30 this morning. And
I
so it's
apologize
not
about
on
that,
my
Judge.
docket.
Judge, I'm sorry, he is actually on our docket, for 10:30. I think I sent an updated docket, but I don't know if I sent one this morning.
Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't able to open it. You sent one yesterday or day before, but I was not
I
able.
apologize about that.
So it's
Okay.
okay. And so with Mr. McDaniels is doing the intake today. I'm sorry, he's on the dock. Oh, that's right, Mr. McDaniels. It's Friday. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, Matt, is he gonna chime in? It's after 10:30.
Good morning, Your Honor, and good morning, attorneys. I don't know where he's at. We told him this morning, called and texted him, told me he had court today. I think he's probably running because of the recommendation that was made by his provider of he needs to go inpatient. So I'm thinking he probably didn't come on because of that reason, but that's my speculation, Your Honor.
All right, I need you to prepare the warrant for Mr. McDaniels. I'm not gonna wait on him. I've been more than lenient and patient and accommodating, trying to help Mr. McDaniels, but I need to make sure he's safe and he's in the proper environment. So if he won't come in so that we can process him for such, we'll go get him. And so Matt, if you could prepare that this morning so I can get it to Ms. Drew, and then I need you all to follow through with Captain Johnson. I know they have a lot going on right now in the downtown area, or Lieutenant Johnson, because he's somebody that needs to be picked up. Mr. McDaniels needs to be picked up.
Correct, and there was a lot of concerns by his provider for those reasons. They actually reached out to me personally to make sure I was aware of their concerns.
Okay, there are no threats or anything being made, is that correct?
There's threats that he does want to harm other individuals. He did not give names, and then was laughing and making jokes about it. And she talked to him about being serious about it, but she said he just kept laughing. It sounded like he was using drugs at the same time that he was doing his assessment. And so she's got a lot of concerns.
Okay, Matt, let's talk offline because I need to make sure that this provider is clear as to whether or not the alluding to threats, whether or not it had anything to do or harming people with our staff or with individuals at the court.
No individuals at the court, Your Honor.
Okay. I mean, he would be sorry if it was me, but all right. So I just want to make sure. All right, very good. So let's
If you'd
prepare
like-
that warrant.
Okay, if you'd like, Your Honor, just let me know if you want me and Ms. Taylor right after this court hearing to call you and get you up to speed if you'd like.
Yeah, I need just like about 5 minutes and then you all can call me. Because I have another
Your Honor.
meeting. Call me before my 11 o'clock meeting, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. All right, anything else? My
I
consideration.
do have, excuse me, Judge, sorry about
Oh, yeah.
that. Yes, for LaQuisha Walker, her next court date is December 4th.
Okay, and it is a court date, December 4th,
Yes, ma'am.
2020 at 9. Wonderful. And then
Yes.
for Tiffany Coleman,
Tiffany Coleman, I don't see her on my docket, but.
she's on here. She was on here for 9:45. Unless something happened and there's an updated document. I mean, document.
Okay, yeah, so her, court date, Judge, is November 16th.
Okay,
Yes.
very good.
Okay.
Then we're all set. Wonderful. All right, I'll wait for you all to call me, Matt. Thank you so much to the court
Yes,
reporter
Your Honor.
this morning for serving. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Honor, for having me.
All right, that ends our docket for the morning. Certainly not our day, but the docket.
Judge, if